What's happening, guys? I'm Dean and I grow and scale construction industry businesses. Now in today's video, what I'm going to do is actually make it very simple for you to understand whether you are on the red line or the green line in your business. Now business is brutal. Business doesn't lie. There's no such thing as staying the same. You're either growing or you're either dying. I'm going to make that really clear for you today. Right guys, so how it works. In business, you are either on the red line or the green line. There's no grey area. You're either growing or you are declining, like the business is going down. There is no staying steady. Staying steady is a false expectations of reality. Like nothing stays the same at any given time in anything. Look at nature, look at the economy, look at business in a wider scheme. Nothing stays the same because costs are always going up, things are always moving forward. There is no staying the same. So the same revenue last year to do the same revenue this year is a decline. You are doing worse if the revenue is staying stagnated and hasn't grown. So get this into your head, red line, green line. And it works like this. You guys right now will be going through different periods of growth. And there's different things you're going to experience as a business owner. And like I say, you're either on this red line that looks normal to begin with. You might think you're doing okay. But in reality, what's going to happen is over time, you are going to decline and go down. Now in certain businesses, this can happen over a 6-month period, a year period, but unfortunately, a lot of people, you probably know them yourselves, have been in the game 10, 20 years, and they're on this very steady, just decline, and these are the people that end up hating their business, they end up resenting the business, and just, you know, oh, poor old me, it never worked out, I never did the right things. And it's because you're not doing the right things that I'm going to talk about in today's video. But if we flip that, what we want to be on is the green line. And same thing. You could be doing all the right things today, but you're not quite seeing the result yet because the time hasn't happened. The compounding effect hasn't happened yet. And you might be in doubt of going, right, are we actually doing the right things or not? And people actually self-sabotage and end up doing the wrong things and getting on the red line without knowing it, and you're on a decline. So it's very important to know, right, are we heading in the right direction? Because that clarity as a business owner is absolutely everything. If you've got any form of chaos or doubt in your mind, that is what destructs and ruins businesses. It kills businesses from the inside out. And good business is very simple. It's actually all a mindset game. If you think about it logically, anything that is done in a business, good or bad, all stems from either a good mindset or a fucking terrible mindset. So the better we get at this stuff as owners, because the first thing you've got to do, if you want to upgrade a business, you've got to upgrade the owner first. That's how the game works. It all starts in here. Every thought, every belief that we have as business owners translates into action that we take in the field and the game of business. So likewise, you could be on a green line and not quite sure if you're doing the right things, but in reality, what's going to happen is you're on this upward curve, which is exactly where you do want to be. Everyone wants to be on the green line, not the red line. So let's go through this. Now at the minute, if you're on the red line, you are going to be feeling a bit like this. Number one, you are the bottleneck. Everything revolves around you. Every single thing comes through you. If you exit the business for a day or two, maybe even an hour, you know, sometimes it gets like that. Things start falling apart, the cracks start happening. You're on the red line. Like that is not a sustainable place to be. You did not start a business to be the central person that if you come out of that business for 24 hours, massive problems happen, you lose money, clients get pissed off, things go wrong on site. That is not the right place to be. That is a red line trait. That is not good whatsoever. The next thing is cash flow. If you have cash flow problems in a business, that is the start of potentially the worst thing that can happen in a company, which is bankruptcy. You run out of cash. The art of business, if you run out of cash, you're out of the game. So cash flow problems today can turn into disaster tomorrow if they are not kept on top of now. And I mean now, today. You have to roll up your sleeves and go, right, why have we got a cash flow problem? What are we doing about it? When is it going to be better? How are we going to improve the situation? Because cash flow problems today turn into disaster tomorrow. You can never lose sight of that. It's a bit like racking up personal debt. It might be £100 today. Could be £1,000 next month. And before you know it, next year it's 10 grand. Before you know it, it's 100 grand of personal debt. Problems start small and they get worse. It's no different than going to the gym. You start putting on a little bit of weight. You start eating too much. You put on a pound, you put on half a pound, half a stone. You put on a stone. Before you know it, you're 3 stone heavier and you're fucked. Like, it started small and got worse. And these are the red flags you've got to register now. If you've got cash flow problems, you've got to take that very seriously, like very seriously. The next thing is a lack of profit. And they're two different things. If you can't clearly see exactly how much profit you are making on every single job that you do, and you cannot see what is making you money and what is not making you money, and all your overhead costs, all your project specific costs on every single job, if you do not have that clarity, that is going to turn into a nightmare. You will be losing money in certain places, and you've got no right of scaling a business unless you know exactly where every single penny is and every single number is in the business. Profit, profit, profit drives a business. Profit makes the world go round. You're in business to make profit. You have got to make the right margins, and this is where a lot of people are going wrong. You don't have clear control over the gross margins you are operating to on every single project, and you don't have clear control on your overheads to give you that net margin profitability that you are in business to do. You have to get the profit correct without doing anything else. Like, you cannot take on more work, more leads, more clients without getting the profit right now, because if you don't solve these problems now, as you scale, they only get worse. The next thing is, maybe you're quoting all the time. At nights, weekends, maybe that shortfall is being done late at night. You're stuck at your laptop. I've been there, 10 o'clock at night, still replying to emails, still organising things, still ordering materials, coming into the office on a weekend because you've got a clear run, you've got peace and quiet, no one's there to interrupt you. That's great. I'm all for hard work. I'm a grafter. I'm sure you are too. We are built to graft in this industry, but you've got to start to learn that, hold on, if I'm quoting late at night and I'm working all the weekends, if I want to double this business, if I want to take this business forward, it's physically impossible to work double the hours. There's no more time left. You can't work anymore. So there is a ceiling on this hard work mentality that we've all got to do it for a period to get us to a point, but that is not going to get us to the next point. So you've got to start being smart with your time, because again, you can only quote late at night, you can only work at weekends so often. You've got misses, you've got kids, you're going to ruin your whole life and your whole relationships with everyone else at the expense of the business. And you're actually in business for money, but also time and lifestyle and freedom to do what you want with that money. So this is great to a point, but you've got to understand that that is part of being on the red line, because again, you get ill, you get sick, something goes wrong, you can't sustain that. That's not something that can keep happening over and over again. So that is a register that something is not quite right with the business. Then the next thing is people. Can't find the people. People don't do what you say. People don't do things as good as you do. Training people is hard, recruiting people is hard. You haven't got a great team. You've got people around you which, quite frankly, you don't really like spending your time with, and quite frankly, they're not actually that good at their job, and you wouldn't actually rate them, but you employed them, so it's your problem. But if you're experiencing team problems, that is going to turn into chaos, because if you're not happy with your team, I guarantee you your team are not happy at work. And if someone's not happy at work, all they need is a better offer. All they need is a different opportunity. These people are employee mindset. The next minute that something better comes along, they're likely going to take it if the environment and the culture is not correct in the business. And before you know it, you could have 6 projects on, one of your key members of the team leaves, and what do? You're in the shit because you're already working all the hours. You already know you're not making the profitability that you should be, and you already know the cash flow's in a pickle. Like, someone leaves, that's a major risk, and the smaller the business, the bigger the risk it is if someone leaves. You know, when you've got below 10 people in an office, one person leaves, 10% chunk of the workforce. If you've got 5 people in an office, that's 20% of the workforce gone. Whereas when you've grown and scaled a bigger business and there's 20, 30 people in an office and 50 or 100 guys out in the workforce, if someone leaves, it's not actually a big deal because there's more hands on deck to pick up the slack and solve the problems. So smaller business, even bigger of a risk. So you really want to make sure that you have got your wingmen, your wing women, whatever you might have, your number 2's in charge, your number 3's in charge, that they are exceptional and you've got the right people in the business. So if the team is off, you're going to run into a problem later on. Then next, you might be going through business wanting to scale and wanting to do more, but you just don't know. You just don't know how to do it. Because if you knew how to do it, you'd be there already. Like if you knew exactly how to scale, if you knew how to get another few £1 million in revenue, grow the team, build the operation, make it all run smooth. If you knew how to do that, you'd be there already. So if you just don't know, you just don't know how to do it. I mean, what is that? There is no plan. There is no structure. There is no strategy. There is no goal. No podcast in the world is going to help you solve that if you just don't know how to do it. You haven't got a solid plan together. And that's quite a frustrating place to be in and can absorb a lot of your time and energy because you want more, you want to be on this green line, but you don't know how to do it and you're just not clear on the very next steps you need to take. That is a chaotic place to be, and that's actually when you end up frustrated because when you want to do something but you don't know how to do it, that is incredibly frustrating. So clarity is absolutely everything. And then number 7, you actually might be in a place where you actually look successful, and this is very common, especially once you've cleared your first couple of million. You look successful, but you don't feel successful. What do I mean by that? Your friends, your family, your peers probably don't have a business. You're probably the odd one out. And they think because you're doing a couple of £1 million, you've achieved a level of success. You've maybe got quite a nice house, you've got a nice car, you've got a comfortable life, you've got on nice holidays with the kids. You don't have to worry about money. It's a great place to be in, but you know in your hearts of hearts that you're not really doing the right things that you should be. You know you're guessing, you know you're winging it. You know that there is a massive gap and you actually feel like a bit of a fraud. You actually don't feel like you're a competent businessman yet, or a businesswoman. This is very common. This is psychology. This is the mindset of business that no one really talks about. And that's why I'm laying these videos out for you guys, to make things as easy as I possibly can, because I've been through this journey. I understand what works, I understand what doesn't. And being in this place is not a nice situation to be in. Now, ultimately, if these things are happening, they're only going to get worse. And the fear, the main issue that you want to avoid is that basically if you stop, it all stops. It all crumbles. If you come out of this business because you're the bottleneck, the whole thing falls apart. And then what happens? Clients are pissed off. Clients complain. The business goes under. You've got the shame of doing that. I mean, that would be horrendous. I think that's ultimate failure in business, of a business going under and losing your own reputation. And a reputation, you've only got one of them. You want to look after it. And that's not where you want to be. And obviously, cash flow. If you run out of cash, you're in a weak position. And once you're in a point of maybe getting finance, loans, factoring finance on invoicing, or going on payment plans or HMRC, this is not a good place to operate from. You can't operate clearly when you're under financial stress. Financial stress is the worst stress in the world. Most stress men can deal with. You know, we can deal with chaos, growing pains, a challenge. We thrive off it. We're built for it. But money stress, money worries, cripples people and does strange things to people. I've seen big, bold, grown men bury themselves in a hole because they've got financial worries and they've got this weight on their shoulders of having to maybe not pay staff, not making payroll, having to say to the family, we can't do this at the minute because I can't take money out of the company, we can't go on holiday, saying no to your kids, saying no to your wife. That is failure to a man, and that's the thing that you want to avoid. But this is where this leads to. Cash flow problems today, profit problems today turn into that. That is not good. And then you can start thinking, is this actually worth it? You start questioning yourself, you start questioning the business. Again, that's not good, because you're not focused on growing the business, you're not focused on moving the business forward. You're in a negative spiral. Negative energy doesn't produce positive results. And you've always got to think, right, it's not the business's fault. It's your fault. It's how you are operating it. If you start doubting whether it's worth it, you're looking in the complete wrong direction. You're on the wrong radio channel. You're on the wrong fucking frequency completely. The business is built for success, right? This industry, you can make a lot of money. You can do incredibly well. It's you operating the business. I'm sorry, it's a hard truth. If any business is not in the right place, it's the owner. It's not the business. It's not the business. You need to hear this. If you're in this place, it's you. You are doing the wrong things. If you're questioning whether it's worth it, you are doing the wrong things day to day. You've not got things right in the business, because it is worth it. You can make a lot of money in this industry. You can feel incredibly rewarded, not just financially, but by the team you build. There's some great people out there. There's some great workforce out there on the tools, on sites, and actually in the office from a professional side. And when you get that right, you get that harmony. It's amazing. The best feeling in the world is working to an office knowing that you've got a team and a troop of people working for you in the business. And they're working well, and actually they're working better than you. Number 4, you just can't work any more hours. You just can't. It's impossible. It's just impossible to do any more. And the worry is that if you keep doing this, quoting late at night and working weekends, that this is just not sustainable. Like, you cannot just keep doing this. Like, it's not cool. And yes, from time to time, you're gonna have to do it again as you grow and you reach a new level and you push on. But for periods more than maybe a couple of weeks or months at a time, you're not doing the right things to grow the business. You're not building a team to take the load off you. Like, and it's this letting go. This is actually what the most important thing is: saying no to things that you could do and you are good at, but you're saying no because you're prioritizing what is important for the business. It's growing the business. It's not being the monkey worker bee in the business. That's the difference. And when you operate from fear and you think, I don't have enough work, I need more work, so I've got to work harder, you're on this fucking negative loop. You're not looking at the game properly. You're not focused on doing the things that actually gets you more work, actually earns more profit. Because if this is all off, what's the point in getting more work? If you're not selling amazingly, if you're not converting customers amazingly, if you're not earning the right margins off all your customers, if you're not pricing jobs correctly, what's the point in getting more work and feeling busy to satisfy a little itch of being busy and working hard? But all the rest of it's a sack of shit. It doesn't work. And then number 5, because you haven't got a lack of team, you might be thinking that unless you do it, no one can do it. No one does it as good as me. No one does it like you. Which is a story. It's a lie. It's a story you keep telling yourself. What you really mean is you haven't found people better than you yet. That's actually the constraint of the business. You are not that special. Sorry, hate to tell it to you, but it's the truth. I used to think the same. I used to always think, right, if I do it, it'll be quicker, it'll be easier, it'll be cheaper. And it's a lie. It's false. It's not correct. It's the wrong story that you're telling yourself. It's a destructive loop. There are people better than you out there. There are people that are actually cheaper than you out there. And there's people that are just more gifted than you at certain things. And you've got to let go and build a team so that you don't believe this bullshit. And you'll worry with all of this stuff. If you don't get a grip of this, you feel that you're not going to live up to your potential, which is a killer. If you know in your heart of hearts you've got more potential and you're not living up to that full potential, that is a killer, and you're not as successful as you could be. And this is the thing, success is unlimited. There's enough out there for everyone. There's enough work out there for everyone. There's enough money to go and get. There's enough profit to go and get. There's enough people out there to recruit. If you don't feel successful, you don't feel like you've reached your potential, what an absolute waste of a life. Like, that is the worst fear for me personally, and I'm sure it's very similar for you. If you know you've got more in the tank, you know you've got more about you, you know you've got things figured out, but you just need to get these next few bits sorted out, maybe these things. That is a killer if you never solve that problem. And that really is the ultimate fear of a business owner, like just not living up to your potential. And then number 7, when you are in a place where you know you look successful on the outside, but you don't really feel it, you're actually a bit afraid of being found out as a bit of a fraud. Being found out and people saying to you, fucking, I knew it was a stroke of luck. I knew he was a bit of a knob. I knew he didn't know what he was doing. Like, no one wants to be told that or have people think that about you. You don't want to be found out as a fraud whatsoever. And this is what I mean about the mindset and the ability to develop and grow yourself as a business owner. is that if you don't, this is what happens. And the people that said you couldn't do it, and the people that thought you were just lucky, which we all know is not the case. There's no such thing in luck in business. Like, it's hard work, it's graft, it's relentless execution, it's figuring a lot of things out, it's getting a lot of things wrong on the way. And then sometimes you meet what people call luck because you've gone through the shit. And what we never ever want is that those people to be proven correct because it all crumbled and all fell apart. So that's the negative stuff out of the way. But this is what happens. If you're here, this is what is going to happen. Now let's look a bit more positive. I like to be positive all the time. If you're on the green line, you are going to be in a place where, number one, you've got high margin work. It's predictable, it's repeatable, you know, without a shadow of doubt. Every project you do, you're pricing it correctly. The jobs are making the right money. If they're making the right money, good things are going to happen and turn into what you really want. Number two, you have got extreme clarity. Every job, every number in the business, you know your business like the back of your hand. You can pull up any single project you've done in the last year. You can look at it objectively and go, right, that made that much money. This particular project lost a bit of money because of X, Y, and Z. This particular project made more money because of X, Y, and Z. And these are all our numbers on exactly how much we've tendered, how much we've priced. These are all the numbers on how many leads we had in the business, is how many we converted. This is our numbers on our overheads, our profit and losses all up to date. Everything's crystal clear. You've got a specific plan going forward. You know your business like the back of your hand. Which turns into the next things of your KPIs. You know easily if your business is on track or not. You've got a simple system to know, right, this is how many phone calls we've had, this is how many website inquiries we've had, this is how all of our projects have delivered on program, this is all the KPIs of all the numbers in every single part of the business, and you know, right, we're on track, and we know what to do to grow, because we know if we double the leads of this business, or we work on the conversion rate, or we meet new people, we convert more higher end commercial clients, depending on what level of business you're in, whether you're commercial, residential. You know the numbers, you know the facts, and go, right, all we need to do is X, Y, Z, and we'll double the business. Easy. Like, KPIs are the best thing for running a business. Then number four, you got the cash. Free cash flow. The bank is going up every month. The average cash position is going up over time. Steadily going up and up and up and up because the profits are building up. You're not making stupid decisions in the business, and everything's under control with how you pay people and how people pay you. You've got that all sussed out. You've got a cash flow forecast. You know exactly where you are with your money. All your taxes are covered. Separate accounts are lined up for paying taxes. You're never behind on any single thing. You know when every single payment's going to come out and how much it is. Your corporation tax, your VAT, you name it, whatever it is, any money that you're investing out of the company into other areas. That free cash flow is building, and you're just absolutely confident. Then number five, you've got the money, but you do have the freedom and the time. And in this spot, people can feel a bit weird because you can actually take a bit of time out of the business and things still get done. Pricing still happens, projects still get organised, clients are looked after. You're actually out of the loop, and you can feel a little bit, oh, I've not heard anything, is anything wrong? And you've got a bit of doubt because you're like, normally I'm here, everything goes through me. But when you're here and things are happening and you get an email going, yeah, that's all done, that's all finished, or you check in with someone and go, yeah, that was finished last week, you go, whoa, this is a bit weird, this is strange, this is a weird part of the journey. Again, it's mindset, but this is what you want, this is where you want to be, this is a clear sign this business is going to grow because you have now got the freedom and the time to actually think objectively about growing the business properly. When you're here in chaos, you can't think clearly. You haven't got time to think about growing the business properly. Whereas here, you have. And this is such a nice position to be in because you've got the money and you've got the freedom and the time as well. So you're in luxury. And number six, you've got a team that works. They work hard. They do a good day's work. But they enjoy it. And most importantly, they're loyal. They're loyal to you. They'll run through brick walls for you. They'll do things for the company. They genuinely care. They'll get up early if they have to. They'll stay late if they have to. They'll take calls at the weekend if they have to. They will go above and beyond. If you've got great people that are so loyal, maybe they need a bit of training still, maybe there's a few rough edges, but if they're loyal, they're genuine, they care, and for the most part, they do a good job, you're on the green line. Like, the business is going to move forward because you need people to do it for you and with you. You can't do it all on your own. No good business is built on one person being, performing. It's built on multiple people, 10, 20, 30 people all performing, because that is leverage. You think about it. If you're a business and there's one person performing and the next business does exactly the same thing, there's 30 people performing and they love their job and they'll do anything for that business. This business can't compete. It cannot compete. It's a people sport. Business is a people sport. And then number 7, the business runs smooth. Like, things just happen. You're not firefighting, you're not being reactive. Things are just a bit more gelled. And obviously, look, construction industry, things change quite a lot. Programs move, deadlines move, variations happen, changes happen. That's normal. That's just part of this business. But actually, on the whole, if things like that happen, people jump on board because you've got the people there to do it. And actually, look, whatever happens, we know what we're doing. We've got a process for everything. We've got a system for everything. The business runs really smooth. And if you're in that position now, and you've got that bit of relief that things are running a lot better than what they were before, you're on the green line. So what does that green line turn into? The complete opposite of all of this stuff. Ultimately, it allows you to have the luxury life that you want. Maybe you want the Range Rover. Maybe you want the business class flights. The nice hotels, the nice holidays, whatever it is for you. These things only happen when you've got these things sorted out. Whereas actually a lot of people are stuck here. They want all this stuff, but it's never going to happen. Never going to happen. You've got to get this stuff right to get here first. And if you're here, what's this saying? Like, if you've got a dream and you're not doing the right things, you're actually hallucinating. Like, you're actually a nutcase. Like, it's never going to happen. Like, get in reality. The dream stuff only happens when you get the right things going on this dream line here, or being on the green. You can't be in the red thinking about, hope. Let's just hope it all works out. Let's just bury our head in the sand and keep going on, keep doing what we've always done. It's never going to happen. And then number 2, as a result of this, you get a reputation. You get the best in game. A reputation. Everyone knows you're shit hot. Everyone wants to use you as a company. Your name is the name on the street. People refer you and go, they're the guys. They're not the cheapest, but they're the guys. They're the guys you want to go to. They've done an amazing job here, and here. Never hear a bad word against them. You want everyone saying that, not just customers, but staff as well, lads on the site, people that just know of you. And that's how you get referrals. That's how you get more work. That's how things keep spiraling on. And ultimately, what that leads into is that you are respected. You built respect in the marketplace, and you're actually admired as a business, which, look, come on. Everyone wants that. You want your suppliers to adore what you do. You want your customers to adore what you do. You want your lads to adore what you do. When you're in that place, good things happen. Good things happen. Things come to you because you've built that reputation. It's worth everything. And then what you ultimately get is that tight, loyal team. And that tight, loyal team, for me, is everything. If you've got loyalty in a business, you can solve a lot of problems. If you've got people that are just checking in, checking out, they actually care about you. They're just there for the day rate or for a salary or what's in it for them. When you get culture right and people are loyal and they'll actually sacrifice themselves for the greater good of the business, and you will get there if you do the right things. Takes a lot of time, takes constant work. When you've got that, that's actually the proudest thing that you will feel about the business. Because once you get to a point and you are earning money, you've got a luxury life, you've got a life of choice and options and freedom. When you actually go into an office and people are actually proud to work in that business that you built, that is actually the thing that will wake you up and inspire you to keep going and keep pushing on in the business. Like, nothing will fulfill you better than that. Once you reach a level, it's not about you anymore. People are the business. And then obviously, being in this industry, everyone wants it. Everyone wants to build the dream home. It's in our nature to come from this industry to want to build our own dream home. And me personally, I don't see the point in building the dream home unless you build the dream home. Like, moving house is incredibly expensive in the UK. The taxes, the refinancing on mortgages, over leveraging yourself too quick. And unfortunately, a lot of people do that. They buy a big house too soon and strap the business of cash, which actually puts you back on the red line. Like, buying things too soon. You need to build the cash reserves properly so that you can do this without guilt and without fear of it being taken away from you. And everyone wants to do that. You know, everyone wants that dream home to look at for the kids to grow up in, and the one that you built, and you can be proud of it. You know, this can only happen by doing a lot of good business. And let's be honest as well, we all want to be the one that did it. We want to be the man. The man who made it. Most people you grew up with in school would have done nothing with their life. Most of your friends would have done nothing in their life. Most of your family will have done nothing in their life. Never actually built a business, never grown and scaled something that actually kicks off $1 million or $2 million profit every single year. Multi-million, empire that you build. Most people won't have done that. Success is not actually that common. You're going to be in the top 0.1% to be doing this. 0.1%. 0.1% of people actually fully crack it and achieve all of this stuff. This is not common. So this is why, again, doing videos like this is the stuff I wish I understood when I was younger. Because I was that person that was isolated. I was that person that had no one around me successful. All I had was a dream, a vision, and some books at the time that I could get my hands onto. And I'm showing my age, but actually then, YouTube started coming out and videos on success and business and driving. It's not common. Most people go through their life, Monday to Friday, can't wait to finish work, looking forward to a weekend to escape reality, and then dread Monday, do it all over again. What sort of life is that where you actually burn through 5 days of the week to try and enjoy 2 days of the week? And those 2 days of the week, what do? They go and get pissed, they go shopping, they do normal steady eddy stuff and actually just end up wasting time and complaining there's nothing on the TV and not actually doing anything. And before you know it, they wasted their whole life. And that for me is a nightmare. Like that, it goes back to this again of not reaching your full potential and being as successful as you could be. You want to be the man that actually figured it out and cracked it, and you're the odd one out. And lastly, valid point, you want to be excited to go to work, but excited to go home. What do I mean by that? You wake up every day. I do this. I love Sundays. I'm looking forward to Monday. I love work. I love what I do. Every single thing I do, I love it. But I also love to go home as well to my family. And you want both. You don't want to be the person that's one-dimensional and all they think about is work, 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 work. But you're excited and you're a buzz to achieve in a day, and you're excited and you're a buzz to achieve outside of work as well. Going to the gym, doing other things, whatever you're into. Maybe it's golf, maybe it's sport, whatever it might be for you. You've got your passion, you've got your hobbies, but you've got your family, you've got all the boxes ticked. That is where you want to be. But all of this stuff can only happen when you have got all of this stuff locked in. So if you are here, you are heading for here. You're on this red line, which is not where you want to be. So you've got to turn these problems into these solutions, which will get you here. Right, guys, if you found that video useful and it's made you think about things that you need to improve on in the business, you're going to want to watch this next video, which is the full scaling plan of building a business in this industry to making £1 million a year net profit. Go and check it out.